Hello, hello, how's it going? I am Hubsy Wubs, and welcome to part 2 of my game analysis with special guest Rowan the Boat. In part 1, we went over initial placements, and in part 2, we will go over major gameplay decisions and how the game turned out. Enjoy! I'll move on to something like this. I realize that my analyses, for those who have seen my previous analyses with other people, they tend to run a bit long, and so I'm trying to find convenient ways to condense it a little bit. So I'm trying to pick out like key moments in the game that make sense, and Rowan and I kind of talked about it a little bit beforehand. But in terms of taking the 854, there's just cities happening, and
Yeah.
Rowan takes the 854. If we stop here, do you want to discuss kind of what happened that led to this development? Because like clearly,
Yeah.
clearly Blue just kind of left.
I'm pretty sure
And
I rolled a seven. I rolled a seven at some point, and I told Noise Pond, hey, I gotta hit you if we're racing for this. Like, and I was expecting like I would have offered him like multiple cards to get it, to be honest, because I knew he had a road in hand, but he was just like, okay. He's like, yeah, I
oh,
won't
he
go
just
there.
gave it to you.
Yeah, he was like, just don't hit me here, and I was like, okay.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
easy enough. And so
Yeah.
yeah, he basically conceded that to me pretty easily, which was great.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, you can see Poppy. He started with 3 ore in hand. He only needed
You
two
only
wheat
needed a
to get
couple
that city up.
fives.
He got that city up really quick, and
Yeah.
I forget how, but Noise Pond got the 3, 10, 11 very quickly with no brick.
Or you mean Edon?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't. Yeah, my bad. He got the 3, 10, 11 very quick. Yeah, yeah. No,
Let's see.
I think I don't even think he would have been able to non-binding me Noise Pond if he wanted to. I think I just had the resources to get there first. I got a nice wheat trade from Poppy probably, or I stole wheat from him because I'm pretty sure I solo blocked Poppy on the 8 sheep.
I'm looking for the exchanges. Like, oh, Edon 4 for 1 at least once.
Oh yeah, he probably 4 from the wood.
Yeah. And then
Yeah, he was trying to get a lot
oh,
of trades.
he got a break early. He got a break in like
Yeah,
the first turn. So yeah, he got
yeah.
a break early the first turn, then he 4 for 1. So that's not too bad.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see.
Yeah,
Is what is chat saying? Easy to 4 for 1 when you start with 3. Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Laura.
yeah.
That's
Yep.
that'll work for sure.
And then
And
I
then
think
yeah,
once he settles there is the part of the game where nines and tens just absolutely explode.
right.
Like
Yeah,
it's like nine, tens, and fives pretty much. I think there's some fives
yeah.
too. And
So it's
I
just
think
Edon heaven.
there's
Like
a turn where Idan, I think he road settles cities in the same turn.
wow.
Coming up here soon. He like road settles on the 3-1 port and cities on the 9-5-10,
Yeah.
which was like
Yep.
wow. It's like
That'll work. That'll work.
yeah, so that really made him look very strong. Especially the fact that Poppy didn't have any devs yet at this point. Yeah, he got
Yeah,
the
that's
road settle
wild.
city. Poppy still has no devs at this point. Nobody has devs at this point, and Idan already has 5 points of hard production. And I'm thinking, oh man, I counted him out first turn,
Right,
and
right.
he's like destroying us right now.
Yeah, that's Catan for you, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah, but at least it looks like naturally the table, realizes that Edon's a threat and it's just like
yeah.
blocking them
No,
incessantly.
I'm pretty sure from this point on until the very end of the game, it's like Idan is pretty much the only one being blocked and robbed at this point.
I see. I see. Huh.
Yeah. So as you can see, after I go 8 5
Okay.
4, my next spot's the 5-2 just to get onto that
Yep.
3-1 port.
Naturally. Naturally.
Noise Pond goes for the 8-4-3 after he gets Woodport. I don't know why he went for Woodport first. Maybe he thought I'd go there. I don't
Oh.
know.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of. You think that they should have gone? You think they should have gone 8-4-3 first, or
Yeah, I don't know. I would have never put myself in that situation, so it's tough to think about
Oh,
what I would do
fair.
there. But
Fair enough. Fair enough. I guess.
I
Yeah.
think going for the Woodport's actually fine because I'm a threat to take it. I think with all my wood production.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. Also, sorry, Ruby's asking if they can ask a question instead of just asking the question.
Has
Uh,
he done? How do you pace what he did?
oh,
Just no.
interesting. Yeah.
I think he honestly just got like the perfect rolls.
Ah,
Like like his 9 and 10 would like roll back to back, and then there'd be like a 5 sprinkled in there, and he'd just have like every resource. I don't remember any explicit like trades that he got that he was able to make this happen so quick. Like he was just like doing this all on his own.
Yeah, he got like a brick at the beginning, I guess. And like
Yeah,
that's it.
yeah. He did get a brick trade at the beginning, I think, from Noise Pond, I'm guessing.
Yeah, yeah.
So
But yeah,
and
crazy.
you can see even before I settle on the 5-2 here, he already has 2 more roads to the 6-9. It's like now he's threatening road. Like I'm thinking, okay, he has no win condition. It's like, okay, he's going to be the only player who's fighting road right now, on the best road material. It's like I'm thinking this game's going to be over very soon at this point.
Ruby just brought up a very interesting point, which is that if he was blocked basically the entire rest of the game, would you have bought more devs? And that'll come up.
Oh,
Sort of, maybe.
I think it's very, very tough to pass up a city road settle on that turn. Like going from one settlement on the 9 ore to a city and a settlement, it's like, how do you pass that up? You know?
Sure. Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, he does start deving at some point. Because he's being solo blocked.
So yeah, Edon gets the settle down on the 6-9. Everyone's just solo blocking them, trying to slow him down a little bit. You get on the 5-2.
Nobody has dev still. Is the issue? Like nobody else is even close.
Yeah. Yeah, Honora saying the city was more important than the settle, which I think is fair. Yeah. And now we see Edon start to they make their next decision. That's my mouse. They make their next decision to try to expand to the ore port. If you're Edon in this spot, do you think expanding to the ore port makes sense? Like I can understand it from like an efficiency perspective, but
yes, I think it's fine. Other options here are to go to the brick port or the wheat port.
Yeah,
on the right side of the board.
Yeah,
extend your road network. I think that's an option, but ore port is fine here just because like there's a realistic chance you might need to port ore, and it's just a simple road settle rather than a double road settle. So I don't know. I think it's fine. I was never. I mean, I won't talk about it yet, but it could be he could have been worried about maybe either me or Noise Pond coming over there. I don't know, but I think it's fine. I think it's a fine play going for ore port there. Get some more wheat too if it's unblocked.
Sure. So I guess as the game progresses, you city up the 6-5-11, and then I think more important, or like in terms of the discussion, I feel like we can discuss these kind of together. You also make a push to expand to the 8-10.
Yes. Well,
go ahead.
So like I said, I'm pushing for the 8-10 because it's just like clearly my best expansion spot left. Besides that, I have the 2 desert. So I'm thinking it's pretty safe because the only other players that can get there are Noise Pond and Edon. And Noise Pond, I think if Noise Pond's going to do double road settle, it's just much better for him to go sheep port at this point.
Sure. Yeah, or like
much
go
better
like,
for his game to go sheep
like
port
1,
or
2,
wheat port.
3 kind of deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like him going there just doesn't make sense for his game at this point. And then Edon, I'm thinking he's gonna want to like focus more resources into like making a road play rather than like wasting an extra road just to prevent me from a settle. So I'm getting a good production settlement without much risk on the 8-10. That's my thought process behind it.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I think that makes sense. And then I think the 6-5-11 cities, you know, unless you have any particular comments on it, I think that just makes enough sense.
I mean, I have 2 other wheat spots. I need the ore. Like to win this game, I'm pretty much built to 10 and hopefully pull a VP or 2 at this point. There's a road play I could make if Edon doesn't extend and I get production quickly, but
that's like so far away. Like
likely not going to happen at all. Like that's
so
in like the
limited.
very back burner right now. I'm thinking I need to get another city up and start like cranking devs to hopefully snag a VP or something.
Yeah. At this point in the game, was there any discussion as to like who was going to fight Edon for road? Like, had
Yes.
that come up yet?
Maybe not quite yet, but there was a point where me and Poppy both agreed it's Noise Pond who needs to get rode. Because
Probably, ideally, Noise Pond, but
yeah,
I guess no. Both of them were equally scary with devs, but I guess
I'm saying
Poppy
no.
is.
Poppy's not. Poppy's not.
Sorry.
No, we didn't think Poppy would get
Okay.
rode at all.
Okay. Sorry,
Definitely
I
not
misheard you.
Poppy. I'm saying me and Poppy agreed to like help Noise Pond.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Bray.
he just has the most space, I think. Because I have no
Yeah.
space.
Yeah, I think that's very fair. And Bray, I think that's a fair point that like Bray's asking, can anyone even fight for Road? I guess
Yeah.
it's like you don't really have much choice, or else the game's going to be over shortly.
Yeah.
So it's tough. It's I agree, it's a tough spot. Unless feel free to speak up if you disagree, Rowan. But
Nope, it's
like
definitely
die.
like we need to like get him road soon, and I think Poppy at this point is just accepting the fact that he's gonna not get Sheepport because like that's how Noise Pond kind of needs that for road space.
Oh, thank you so much, Honora. Yeah, thanks for stopping by the stream. Thanks for we're enjoying it as well. Have a good one, okay? Sorry, I apologize, Ren. I should have warned you. I sometimes will just like interrupt random trains of thought to like to respond to chat stuff. I apologize.
No,
but
no problem at all, man.
Bray is pointing to something that'll get discussed later. Is that they guess Blue can only really take it along the western coast, and and that's exactly what happens. Blue immediately starts pushing. Oh, whoops! Spoilers. Let's do that first, and then comes one of the more significant happenings in Rowan's game. Is that after Blue plows, or not plows really, but after Poppy lets Blue go to the Sheepport, Edon decides that they don't want Rowan to get to the ore port.
He basically gets the one roll that
really?
in there. I mean, because I'm pretty sure he ports his ore for a week to get there, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Fast forward a little bit further. He needed multiple wood and a wheat, and it's like the only way he's getting that is a 9.
Yeah, it's like
so he got his one roll that he could do it, and it's like he could even like not do it and just like settle there and take road on the right side. But no, he plows me to deny my settle spot. Effectively ending my game, in my opinion. At this point, I'm thinking, how do I win this? Like, I'm dead.
Yeah.
Like, this is a rough game for me from here on out.
Yeah. But you have the 854.
Yeah. No, that's what everyone's saying. Like, how did you not take the 854 in third? And it's like, dude, I got the 854 as an expansion, and I still lost.
Hey there, if you're enjoying the video, please consider hitting the like and subscribe buttons. It helps out the channel a ton. Anyway, back to the match. Yeah, it's hard to win, given how it seems like things, the dice and how the expansions played out.
And if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure 9 and 10 were the most rolled numbers this game.
Yes, yeah.
Explaining why Edon is doing so well at this point.
Right. For sure. So something interesting that I noticed at this point in the game was I saw that Edon had 2 sets of 4 roads that couldn't be connected. Like when I paused here, I was like, okay, like sure, Edon can push for road, but could the rest of the table feed road to Noise Pond successfully enough that they could go like, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then they just have road locked. And was that, how much was that being discussed in
that was
this
discussed
moment?
on the very last turn of the game. We'll get to that.
Because I figured it was, I saw that it was discussed there, but I was curious if it was ever discussed earlier.
No, not really. I don't think it was really discussed up to that point.
Okay. But yeah, it's interesting stuff. And naturally, Noise Pond, and you're just sitting up trying to and crying, trying to live your best life.
I need like mono VPs now if I want to win. So
yeah,
it's hope and pray at this point.
Yeah. And Noise
Yeah,
Pawn does the right thing, and
he does
sorry.
take road, which is
Yep.
good.
Takes road and also locks down this entire coast, which I think is good.
Hmm.
And that's actually something that I'm working on my game is I make a ton of dumb mistakes when it comes to road direction. Like if I'm fighting for road, I really struggle with pointing my roads in a direction that not only like helps provide like expansion opportunities, but that also is safe against being plowed. And I think this is like a clear, at least to me, this is a clear sign of like a top level player who's willing to like, who knows what order to point their roads in so that there's absolutely no chance that
Yeah,
it gives them like a micro advantage, you know, like it gives them
yeah,
little
yeah,
edges that maximizes their
yeah.
chances of winning.
He definitely made the road play right.
Hmm.
I think me and Poppy might have had to direct him a little bit to do that.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Not
Okay.
I don't totally remember. I could be wrong, but
Fair.
yeah.
Fair, fair, fair. Yeah. Secure, secure the end road first is what
Hmm.
Bray is saying. Yeah. Well, that comes up a little bit later, but yeah. And then Edon gets blocks. Things are happening. Noise Pawn's extending. I'm trying to think. Oh, so something interesting. Do you mind if I kind of fast forward a ways over? Unless there's a
Of
certain
course.
moment that you want to stop by, I'm happy to stop.
No,
But
yeah.
something that came up other before the last turn is that Poppy is sitting here, particularly leading up to the last turn, with like 3 cities, and eventually they get a 4th city
Hmm.
here. Can you speak a little bit to like what their rationale was for going for that? Because like if I'm Poppy here, seeing that like you're the one going for army and you actually end up taking army, well, does Poppy not have the sheep or the material to port for devs to try to fight for army?
Yeah. No, trust me. If Poppy was
Like,
able to, if he was able to buy devs there, he would have.
uh,
I don't think
but
he had the sheep to do it. He was just getting
okay,
fives and sixes and nines.
okay,
And,
okay.
and I don't think anyone was trading him sheep because they didn't want him to get easy army.
Sure,
Um,
sure, sure. But like, if you're Poppy there, do you consider porting like or for devs, or I guess maybe their hand just wasn't well suited
no,
for it.
I don't know his exact hand, but I would have definitely considered it.
Okay,
Um,
yeah,
I Because you could see both me, and what we haven't mentioned is even Noise Pond had a shot to take army there too,
right,
and he had two
right.
knights played. I think there was a little bit discussion about that, like, hey, like we're giving him road, we can't give him army too.
Sure, sure, sure. And so then that's
So
when they.
that's where it kind of came to me. It's like I think I'm the best player to get army here, and I
Mhm.
don't know if I had help with it, but that's kind of I need to take army if this game's gonna go on.
Right,
Um,
right. Did the table help feed it to you at all, or were you able to just kind of hold your own and take it for yourself?
I don't quite remember, but
Okay, that's
I
fair.
probably just did it by myself.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But as we approach the last turn, we're kind of coming up on some of the, you know,
Yeah.
some of the bigger problems happening. I think this is the turn that defines it, where
Yes. Yes.
Noise Pond has 8 cards and 9 roads, and from my understanding, given that there's only 15 roads, Edon can only
Uh
max
huh.
out at 11.
Yeah. So
And
yeah.
so if Noise Pond connects, theoretically
Hmm.
that's just it.
He needs two roads, and uh, Poppy likely wins the game if he builds two roads here, because Poppy's sitting on 9 hard points.
Right.
There's
Well,
likely VPs left in the deck. He needs to pull a VP,
sure.
and he has like insane oversheep. I think Poppy, like verse, like it's either Poppy or Noise Pond that win at that point. But
Hmm.
the issue is if Noise Pond wants to build, he has one road in hand, I believe,
Yeah, he
and he
does.
builds one road, but
Hmm.
then he has like multiple ore in his hand that
Oh,
he could have ported to build the extra road. Like he could have built the extra road, but he
hmm,
didn't because he has five. He doesn't have any settlements left, so he needs to build a city for his own game.
sure.
So he doesn't port the ore, which we'll see how that like comes out here. But um,
Sure. Well, so I guess it's interesting because you say that there are likely VPs left in the deck, but like, did you all reveal what you had as your down devs at this point? Because like when I look at this, I see, I mean, you obviously know what down dev you have, but like
Yep.
when I see these, I see a dev deck that's maybe half full
Uh-huh.
and 3 down devs that are not mine that could be VPs.
Well,
Were
I
any of
know
those bought
Poppy's.
recently?
Well, Poppy's isn't a VP because he's on 9 points. You know that.
Yeah, sure.
Edon, I'm thinking Edon likely is. I'm thinking Edon and Noise Pond likely have a VP. I didn't have a VP at my point at this point in the
Yeah.
game. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure. So I'm thinking there's still 3 VPs left in the deck, which at two
That's
question
good.
marks, I think that's
Yeah.
like solid amount.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'm thinking, yeah, Poppy's gonna be able to pull one of those and
Okay.
win because if Noise Pond extends. But yeah, no, Noise Pond he kind of had to make the risk of holding that or and potentially blocking road next turn, which I understand it was frustrating at the time that he didn't do that because you'll see what happens next. But
I
it
guess
was
or sorry. So like given that we like presuming like well, chat doesn't know what happens at the end. Get not knowing what happens next. Do you think Noise Pond's decision was fair to risk holding road for another turn? Because like we
I
obviously know how it ends, but
I actually I don't hate it. Like looking at it from a completely like standard perspective, like an outsider perspective, I think it's fine that he holds there because you don't know what dev card Edon has, and you don't know what the next roll is going to be. And he's right for his own game. He doesn't win here without building a city, and if he
sure.
ports that ore, he's going to need 3 more 6s to get a city. And by the time 3 more 6s roll, either me or Poppy's going to win because we
Yeah.
double up on ore there.
Yeah.
So I don't hate it, but it just unfortunately was that decision. Unfortunately, lost me and Poppy the game.
Sure. Sure.
So
Yeah. Also,
yeah,
Kelly's saying, Kelly's giving me a hard time as if all some of chat didn't watch. Yeah, Bray said they don't see Blue winning if they build a road, and they don't see him getting an extra turn.
that's what.
So,
If he builds the extra road, it kills Noise Pond and it almost kills him too. Whereas
yeah,
if he doesn't build the road, everyone's still kind of in it. So for me, it was unfortunate that he didn't do it. And trust me, I was definitely pushing him to do it.
sure. It only helps
he-
you. Like,
He was saying, I mean, he was saying, he's like, I can't. Like, he's like, there's no way. And I'm like, at that point, I'm like, how, dude? You have 6 cards. Like, we can figure out a way. Like, I have 3 cards. Like, I will trade it to you if I need to. And he's like, no, like, I can't. But I had ore in hand. What I should have done in that situation is gotten him to reveal, like, hey, I don't want to port my ore. He never revealed on his turn. He's like, no, I have ore that I don't want to port. He didn't reveal that till after. And I should have been like, here, I will give you ore to port. Like, I have ore in my hand. I will give you to port.
sure. Okay.
So you still have ore. You build the road and you still have ore in your hand. That's what I should have done.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. That makes sense.
Yep. So you can see here, Idan, for like the 10th time this game, gets the perfect roll here.
What they get a 9, yeah.
Yes.
And then they
Their
mono ore.
highest producing roll, and then they mono ore, and they're on ore port now.
And so it's just like
Yep.
big sad. And
He's
they take road.
able to build a city because he has no settlements left, and then take road.
Bray saying, on the other hand, him having road is the table's goal, and either a mono or road builder is a major threat. Yep, that's exactly right.
Yep.
And that's how it goes. That's how it be. But yeah, crazy stuff, crazy back and forth, and I guess to highlight your point, there was only one VP out, which lines up with your logic, which you were able to deduce kind of without seeing anything, which is I'm always impressed by. And then the dice were very friendly to 6s, 9s, and 10s, which is pretty helpful. Oh, okay. So,
I
go
see what Kelly just said, but we had. I think everybody was putting Idan on a VP here. I don't
I
think.
see.
there wasn't much mention of Idan having like he's like, oh, he definitely has a mono here or like road building. It's like we're thinking he has a VP just because like the lack of VPs out, and that's that's on us as players not really considering all the possibilities there. Just kind of getting locked into that one mindset. But yeah, he has the mono and he's able to get it.
Fair. I mean, like, so Ruby, I hear you. I hear what you're saying, Ruby, but also, like, Noise Pond, I mean, I don't want to go so far as to say as Noise Pond had a window, but, like, there was a point in the game where
he had a window.
He could have taken Army and Road and
he had a window.
10. So, I think looking at the final score is maybe a bit, like, it's a bit deceptive as to, like, who was the threat when, I guess. Because, like, arguably, sorry, Rowan, but like, I'm not sure the rest of the table ever really considered you that much of a winning threat, even with Army.
No,
and and like, Noise Pond and Poppy were at least from my impression of the analysis, clearly much scarier than you were in the grand scheme.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, I see. Yeah.
Unfortunately, how it played out, but
Yeah.
You learn. You watch these games back and you learn from them. I learned from this game, and I had a good game. And Idan, he like I said, he's playing in champs for like 16 or 17 out of the 20 seasons, and I think this was his first final. So
Oh wow! Really?
I was happy for him.
Yeah, that's great. Good for him, I guess. Yeah, especially in D1 Catan champs, I imagine you can't take that kind of thing for granted. Like even if you're a good player, it's not a given that you're gonna make it to a finals at any point. So it's
super nice guy too.
Nice.